Hi everybody, Craig here from the Total Miner team. This is going to be a video which will show the basics of our farming for the 2.0 update. Right, so for farming, the first thing you need is seeds. So what you do is you plant the seeds and then they grow into crops, and you can harvest the crops. So to get some seeds you just have to cut down long grass. That's a sugarcane seed there. You have to cut down quite a bit of grass, so it's random. So luck of the draw. There's some tomato seeds I've got there. And there's wheat seed there. What I will do is you can also buy the seeds from the shop. So I'll do that just to make it quicker. So we have here wheat seeds, sugarcane seeds, and tomato seeds. So I want 3 of those, 3 of those, and 3 of those. And the tools that you use for farming are a hoe, which you use to till grass or dirt into farmland. You must grow your crops on farmland. And a scythe. A scythe is used to harvest the crops. You can harvest the crops with other tools, but you won't harvest very much stuff. You probably won't harvest anything at all. So it's best to use a scythe. So I'll take, there's an iron, steel and diamond version of those 2 tools. So I'll take a diamond hoe and a diamond scythe. So what we do is we just till the earth here. That turns it into farmland. Tilled earth. With the skill system, when you till earth, you get experience points against the farming skill, and the better the tool, the more experience you get. So if you use a diamond hoe, you get more experience than if you used an iron hoe. And we plant the seeds. With the skills, when you plant a seed you get experience, you get farming experience. And with the wheat seed you get the least amount of experience, sugarcane you get the middle amount, and tomato you get the most. It's also the same for harvesting. When you harvest those crops you get the most experience for harvesting tomato, middle experience for sugarcane, and the least experience for wheat. It's not much of a difference, but it does make a difference when you're doing a big farm. Now for the crops to grow, the tilled earth must actually be irrigated. So you can just put water next to it like that, or if you wanted to, you could actually, if you're pretty keen, you could actually, if you want to hide the irrigation, you can put it underneath as well. Now, as long as the farm blocks are at 4 blocks away or less from water, they will be considered irrigated. So you could actually put the irrigation 4 blocks deep if you wanted to, but I won't do that. So that is now irrigated. Now there's 6 growth stages for each crop. this is the seedling. It'll grow bigger over time until it reaches its final growth, and that's the best time to harvest. You can harvest it before it fully grows, but you'll reap less on your harvest, so it's best to wait for them to fully grow. The seasons affect the growth period. The crops will grow fastest in spring and summer. They'll grow slightly slower in autumn or fall, and they'll grow the slowest in winter. Now, I think it takes like half a day per growth stage, so I'm not going to stand here and wait for that. I'll cheat by using bone meal. You can apply bone meal to a crop, and every application grows the crop by one growth stage. So that's a fully grown wheat crop. You'll see the final growth stage is always quite a different colour than the previous one, and that's so that it's easy to tell that it is actually fully grown. That's a tomato plant there. Okay, so that's a fully grown crop. Just a side note, if you apply bone meal to a sapling, it will grow the tree instantly. Also, if you put bone meal on the grass, it'll just grow some random flowers and long grass. So that's good for setting up gardens and stuff, landscaping. Okay, so it's time to harvest that. I'll just get rid of this excess stuff. Also with a bucket, if you swing a bucket at a cow, it will fill the bucket with milk, so you harvest milk from cows. Okay, so I'll harvest this crop now. So we can see from that crop I got 11 tomato, 3 sugar and 7 wheat. So the harvest is a little bit random, but generally you'll get at least as many of the product as what you had of the crop itself. And generally with seeds you will get more than what you planted originally, and that allows you, so every time you harvest, that allows you to expand your farm. So you don't have to keep collecting or buying seeds. You can just every harvest just expand your farm with the extra seeds you get. We only actually got 2 tomato, which is pretty unusual. Usually you get more, so we've got 5 wheat and 7 sugarcane. So I can now replant that farm, and I still have 5 extra seeds there. With the foodstuffs, you can craft wheat into flour. That's a cooking skill, so when you do that you gain cooking experience. also craft salt blocks here, which are just like ores, just mine them. You can craft those into bags of salt, and that's also a cooking skill, so you'll gain cooking XP for doing that. So if we have a look at the food items, or all the items to do with farming, it's the tools that I showed you, eggs which you can get from killing ducks, bags of salt, flour which you've seen, the seeds, and the harvest is wheat, sugar and tomatoes. You can actually eat tomatoes on their own to gain a little bit of health. Flour from wheat, you can make butter from milk and salt, and you make cheese from milk. You make dough from various things, I'll show you soon, and the final products are bread, cakes and pizza, so you cook those in the furnace. So if I show you the furnace here, you cook bread, cake and pizza using those ingredients. Bread just dough, cake is dough and butter, and pizza is dough, cheese and tomato. And you can cook the different meats there as well. In crafting, you can craft salt, flour, bottle of milk, butter, cheese, dough. So dough you need water, milk, eggs, sugar and flour. So with the things up here, if you craft any of these items, you gain cooking experience. And same with the furnace, if you cook any of these items, you gain cooking experience. So I think that's it. It's 4 different stages there. So farming's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun testing it when it was in development. It's fun you start your farm off small, just start it off with a few crops, and then each time you harvest you just keep expanding your farm and you end up with a really big farm. And any of the excess harvest that you don't use for cooking your food, you can just sell into the shops and you make a very tidy profit. So yeah, farming's a lot of fun. Alright, that's it. Goodbye.